First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Salakia. This is a video going into how King Charles, talks about the new digital ID. Relaunch the digital ID. And this is massive because, this is showing you that the prophecies are coming to pass. So I'm going to get straight to it, play the clip, and we'll bring out the scriptures.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Right, and essentially that's all he needs to say. Hey, look at this right here. Revelation 13 describes a future global system in which buying and selling become tied to central authority. That prophecy no longer feels distant or symbolic, it feels technologically possible. And the answer to that is that it will happen. Okay? These prophecies are written to happen. And I don't even know what this website was. Charisma. Let's see what it is. My Charisma. Alright, seems like a website that goes into the Bible, your modern day so-called Christianity, and majority of the things these so-called Christians say is false, but sometimes they're on point, and you need to call a spade, which in this point they're on point about Revelation 13. Okay, when it talks about the beast, it's talking about this whole system. Okay, America, NATO, EU. Okay, that's the beast, this system. And the way that they're going to get the masses to comply is by digital IDs, by making everything technological, establishing a technocracy. Okay, which when you go into what the word technocracy means, technocracy is a system of governance or social organization where decision-making power is vested in technical experts, such as scientists, engineers, economists, rather than elected politicians. It prioritizes data-driven, empirical, and utilitarian problem-solving over public opinion, ideological debates, and traditional democratic consensus. Right, so it goes into how, what's running the government is essentially science, right? Technology. And, the latest technology is artificial intelligence. Right, that's what it's all leading down to. Okay, it's leading down to you can't eat too much meat because global warming, and AI says this is the amount you can eat, and you have to eat worms now, and AI says that you can't do this, and AI says this, and AI. Right, the new god of this world is AI. And it all goes back to man worshiping a man more than the creator. Right, worshiping, idols. Okay, things made by wood and stone. Right, AI is nothing but another idol, and it's the idol of these Edomites. So let's read this in Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. It says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." Right, and we've been knowing how this is all leading to digital ID. Okay, the apostles of Great Millstone, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rayamlam, right, Apostle Rakah, they've been going heavy for more than 30 years before any of this happened, talking about Revelation 13:16, about the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. And now we're seeing these prophecies spring forth, which we got to go there, Revelation chapter 13, and I'll start at verse 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Right, and this beast is going into America. Okay, this is going into the system. Right, the two horns like a lamb is representative of the left and the right. Right, your Republicans and your Democrats. Right, as they say, the left wing and the right wing, but they're both part of the same bird. Right, two horns, both part of the same lamb. Because at the top, the elites are controlling everything. Right, the left and the right is just controlled opposition. Okay. It says, and he spake as a dragon, right? Which dragon goes into power. Okay. Fierce. And I wonder what that word there for dragon is. Drakon. A dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. And the word Satan just goes back to the word Satanas, which it means adversary, right? A person that metaphorically, acts like Satan. Pretty much the wicked. So the way that this system operates is through wickedness. It says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Right? Well, who was the first beast? It's going into the Roman Empire. Okay? The Roman Empire was that first beast which fell. Right? That was that deadly wound. But guess what? That deadly wound was healed because it came back through this new beast. Okay? That's what it's talking about, is America resembles and does exactly what ancient Rome used to do. Right? The same system of the Senate, the same, a religion of do whatever you want to do. Right? It's the same thing. That's why it talks about it makes everyone, or exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Right? Because that influence of Rome is being pushed today throughout the whole world. Right? It's called, instead of being Romanized, it's called being Americanized. Right? Westernized. Right? It's that influence of the first beast. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right? Going into the so-called miracles, right? Done by the way of technology. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by sword and did live. Right? So it's all about the elites getting control over the masses, because that is power. Control is power, right? And they want you to bow down to the image of the beast, right? Which the image of the beast is New World Order, 2030 agenda, one religion, one everything, right? That's their image, is to have the whole world under their hands. And if you don't bow down to what they say, to their image, ultimately you're going to be put to death. Many will be put to death. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? So these things will happen to a certain extent. Right? Power has been given to these elites, okay, to do all these things. And if you don't bow down to that beast system, it says you should be killed. Not you should be, but that sounds weird when you put it like that. But if you don't bow down to the system, you can be taken out. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that mark is going into an RFID microchip. When you go into, the root word of the word mark, it goes into the Greek word charagma, okay, which goes into a stamp, an imprinted mark, thin carved sculpture, graven work, right? And it's a scratch or etching. Now, when you go into the Greek word of that, it goes into a pale or stake, a palisade, which that's going into the syringe that they use to put that chip inside of you. Okay, it looks like a pale or a stake, a palisade. And then we go even deeper, it goes into to write, right? So that chip, you're going to be able to write information into it, right? It's going to be your digital ID. It's going to be your debit card. It's going to be your insurance, your medical history, right? So that's one of the ways we come to the conclusion of what it's talking about, right? You have to go to the root words, and just thinking about it based on what we see today in the right hand or in the forehead, a mark, which is something put inside of you. The only thing that makes sense is an RFID microchip, and it's all leading towards there. So it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? So without that chip, you're not going to be able to partake in society, because that will be your digital ID. Okay, that will be what you need in order to partake in society. Right? He said, my ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID, that will modernize how citizens interact with public services. Right, so in order to partake in public services, you're going to need the ID. And everything is a form of gradualism. Right? They start off with, cash, and then they went to the debit card, and then from the debit card now you got Amazon One, which is paying with the palm of your hand. And slowly but surely they get rid of the old systems, and now the new systems are the defaults. Okay? There's going to be a time where cash is no longer around. Everything is just digital. And that's what they want, because it's complete control. So it says, under the new scheme, the government is positioning it as an optional tool for those whose traditional identification, such as passports or driving licenses. The policy shift mounting public backlash, including a petition signed by 3 million people, alongside concerns over privacy, cybersecurity risks, and the potential for state overreach. Right? So, people are realizing, what this is going to bring. And like I said, it's going to be started as optional, and then eventually it's going to be mandatory. Okay? So, we'll get one more scripture. Oldie but goodie. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. And I'm going to actually read this in the NLT. It says, the vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. That is the fact of the matter, is that these things will happen. It's all about waiting patiently. And that's what you see. Slowly but surely, the Lord is moving the chess pieces, and we're seeing the prophecies come to pass. So, Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodash. And with that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodash. And double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to like Shalom.